Welcome to A Double
Double
and Dice
with your host Kim.
and Jocelyn.
Pour your favorite beverage
Pull up a comfy chair.
because we are ready to roll.
Welcome to episode 141.
Yes.
Yes, of A Double and Dice. And real Jocelyn's back.
141 or 140?
Wait.
I'm questioning.
Wait,
140.
140?
Yeah.
No, it's 141. Where's our tab? Where'd our tab go?
I made our tab. Wait, where did it go?
We are having technical difficulties. We lost our tab that was
I
just
found
there.
the tab. 141. You're correct.
It got moved?
Yeah, it got moved.
Weird.
Why'd you move it, Kim?
I didn't move it. I didn't even touch it. I was on Board Game Geek.
Sure, Kim. Sure.
Glitches. We love them.
Well,
The
it's
thing
because
that-
fake Jocelyn was here last time.
Yeah. See, he left the mark.
He certainly did. But it was a great episode.
Thank you. We
I enjoyed listening to it.
we love our zombicide.
Apparently so.
Mm-hmm.
This is a thing.
Yeah, we're almost done our campaign. I think we're on 8. There's 10
how many?
altogether.
10. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see if there's like how the ending plays out in this story.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Because you played it again after words, Jocelyn. You played it again after you recorded, right?
Yeah. We played scenario 7.
Nice.
So we're on to 8. There's 8, 9, and 10, and then we'll be done. But we never played a campaign of Zombicide, so it'd be interesting if there is a story wrap up. You know what I mean? Like, or what happens at the end. But we're surviving.
Yeah, it's good. So
Cool.
So fake Jocelyn was here, messed up the sheet, and I was on vacation, and now I'm back, and now things are all right with the world. And once again, Kim has been the only consistent person on this podcast ever.
Still haven't broken my record.
Yay, Kim. So thank you so much for doing that. And thanks to Jordo for coming on in my absence. And hope that everyone enjoyed that podcast. We did get one little comment in the dice bag from our friend Petrus Unknown Force, who said, fake Jocelyn, 3 laughing emojis at Jordo. So that was what we got. So thanks, Petrus, for commenting on the Discord in a Double and Dice podcast convo channel. But definitely the conversation around Zombicide was really interesting. I have watched you and Matt and team, Nerdiana and Millie play Zombicide a bunch of times. I never stay around till the end because you're up too late for me, and I'm old and I go to bed early. And but it always seems like you're having a good time. I don't always know what's happening. I'm always pretty sure you're cheating, but
we have not cheated.
Sure you haven't. You house ruled things.
Only the friendly fire we house rule.
I understand. We talked about it in the last episode.
But you played
you
once.
And me talked about it in the last episode.
You've played once.
Yeah, I think I did play once.
Yes, you did.
As you can tell, it had a very big impact on me.
Yeah, you have to like zombies.
I mean, I'm not anti-zombies. I think it was fun when I played. Like, I enjoyed it. I just, I'm pretty sure I died.
Oh, maybe you left the group.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I died. But anyway, but yeah, it sounds like a really cool thing, and I think the campaign is super cool. And you've got 3 episodes left of the campaign, so that's pretty neat. And you're only halfway through the year, so you've got lots of time to get that done.
Yeah, well, we have 2 other campaigns lined up, so they made 3
after this.
Yeah, maybe I don't know if we'll take a break and then start a new one. So once we're done this one, the one we're on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is the next one will be number 8.
No, I mean, I'm talking the campaign overall. So
right.
There's like 3 left in this campaign, but then there's another one in a different city. So I don't know if we'll take a break and then start that one after we're done this one or what.
Right. And then Paris, right?
Yeah. So it's Rio de Janeiro and Paris.
Nice. because of the zombies.
Yes, Z.
Nice.
Paris.
Pretty cool. So I guess you didn't miss me because you had fake Jocelyn. Not quite as good as the real thing, but close enough.
His voice needs to be a little bit not so deep.
And I think he laughs more than I do.
Does he really?
I think so. It's not a bad thing.
I don't know. It's like when people like talk and they're nervous. So I say like a lot. Mm-hmm. But I don't always catch myself saying it. But I think when I'm like uberly nervous, I probably say like a lot.
Yeah. I have found that since we started the podcast, a combination of the podcast and recording videos with Rob for Dice Station Zebra, that I have dropped a lot of filler words like likes and ums and ahs. Because I'm very conscious of it. I just did one there. See? But it's not perfect. But I have dropped them a lot more than I used to.
Yeah, but it's so self-conscious that you don't even know you're doing it.
Absolutely. You have to really pay attention.
I think I used to say a lot. A. E-H, by the way, people. E-H.
That's because we're Canadian.
But that was when I was like younger. It was like every second word was A.
But it's because the so fawns.
But not so much now.
Yeah. Did I ever tell you that I got to meet Henry Winkler?
I think so.
I'm going to tell the story again, because if I did tell it on the podcast, then
I don't think you ever told
like 100 episodes ago. So the first time I ever went to Fan Expo was back in 2008, because as I mentioned, I'm old. And it was a lot smaller than it is today. And there was a lot of times where it wasn't nearly as busy. So we went to his panel, and his panel was excellent. So Henry Winkler, of course, is the actor that played the Fonz in Happy Days. And he told the story of where the A came from. Mm-hmm. And I have a video of it on my Facebook, like super, super old, from 2008, which is like a million years ago. But, I'm going to use a profane word here because it came from fucking A. But obviously you couldn't say that on television back then. So that's why it just became A. So it was like what did he say? It was a saying on the streets of New York that they incorporated into the show. But they just went with the A because they didn't want to have the profanity in the show. Because it was whatever, the 70s, I guess. That wasn't a thing. So anyway, so we were there and we saw his panel, and it was excellent. He was a great speaker, and I would highly recommend, if you ever have the opportunity to see him speak or present at a convention, that you check it out, because he's really, really good at what he does and really the nicest man. So on Sunday morning, we get to the convention hall and the place is empty. That doesn't happen in 2025. It doesn't happen in 2015. There's nobody there, like literally nobody there. And we walk in to the convention hall, and we had been debating, do we want to go and talk to Henry Winkler? There was always a line, and, there was charges for whatever pictures and autographs and everything. So Sunday morning, he's sitting there. He's one of the few celebrities sitting at his table. He's there with his handler, and they literally have stacks and stacks of cash because back then everything was cash. Yeah. Right. You didn't really there was no good Wi-Fi in the hall. You couldn't pay for most things by credit card. Everything was cash. And they were literally counting what had to have been thousands upon thousands of dollars that he had made over the weekend. It was just piled up. Cash money, just piled up, just out in the open.
Nobody cared back then.
It was crazy. So anyway, there's no line. They're just counting money. So Rob and I are standing there, and we're like, should we go over? Should we go over? And we decided to go over. So no one else was there. We had probably 15 minutes of his time, dedicated to us. And he got up from behind the table, and he came out and talked to us, and he made conversation. And Rob ended up getting a picture. He got an 8x10 glossy. I think he got it signed. And then what I did, because it was 2008 and cell phone cameras were awful, you used to carry around a digital camera with you everywhere you went, right? So I had my picture taken with Henry Winkler on my own camera And I paid him $20 to do that, which today would be a lot more expensive than that. A table selfie is like $60, right?
Really?
So, oh yeah. But at the time, $20, I was like, ooh, that's a lot of money to get my picture taken with a celebrity, like $20. Like, and very few places even do table selfies anymore. Like now you have to do like the official photo op and it's like so
Yes.
expensive, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, so I have a picture of myself and Henry Winkler, and he kissed me on the forehead, like just on the side of my head, just like a little peck, right? He was like, anyway, we had a lovely conversation with him, and seriously, like the nicest man. Like, I mean, I know I paid him $20 to get my photo taken with him, but really, really nice guy.
Cheaper than today.
Cheaper than today, and don't regret it for one instant because, that dude is old. He was old then and he's older now, and who knows how much longer he'll be around for. But anyway, that's my Henry Winkler story.
Like in the 80s old?
I don't know. Let me see. The Google will tell us. Henry Winkler. Henry Winkler is 79.
Oh, so almost 80.
He will be 80 this October.
Oh, he's an October baby like me.
October 30th.
Oh, he's the end of October.
And he appears to have the same spouse since 1978.
Good for him.
His wife, Stacy, and they have 2 children, Max and Zoe.
It doesn't last long in the showbiz.
No, and he spoke too about his dyslexia and the challenges he had with that as a child and how he overcame it to become an actor, and it's really inspiring. Really, really nice guy. Lots of value in the speech that he made, and remembering that, what's that? 2008, 2025. Jocelyn does math. 17 years ago.
Sure.
Oh my God. 17.
No.
Yeah. 2008 to 2018 is 10 years. And then another 7 years. This August, it'll be 17 years since I met Henry Winkler. I was like a whole other person then.
Crazy.
That's insane.
Time flies.
I'm not that old. Okay. So anyway, that's my Henry Winkler story. And I can't remember how we got on the topic of that.
I don't know. You're older than me.
Not by that much.
You're still older than me.
I am. And I will always be older than you.
Are you older than Dave?
I don't know. How old is Dave?
78.
No, I'm not older than Dave.
Yeah, he's 78.
He's not 78. He was born in 78.
Yeah, he was born in 78. Yeah, I am a 78-year-old.
My husband is 78 years old. No, he was born in 78. No, I was born in 80.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he's 2 years older than me.
Yeah.
So there you go. I'm not older than Dave.
40s crewman.
I'm also not older than Rob.
Oh, he's older than everybody.
Rob is older than Dave.
Yes.
Yeah. Which makes him older than all of the people we just talked about, except Henry Winkler.
Except Henry Winkler.
And possibly Henry Winkler's handler, because she didn't look particularly old.
No.
Anyway, I have memory of those piles of cash. Crazy. Anyway, so should we talk about the playmat?
Yeah. What did we play? What have you played since?
I haven't had a ton of time to play really anything. There's been a lot going on. Obviously, I had vacation. But I did get to a Star Wars Unlimited draft. It was just a random Wednesday night. Wednesday night? Yes. It was a Wednesday night. We headed down to Face-to-Face Games. Have you ever been there, Kim?
Where's that?
It's on the Danforth.
No. I haven't really been to much places like downtown.
Yeah. So it's East End, Danforth. It was like really, really rainy. It was kind of miserable outside. So we said, yeah, let's go. We had time. So we drove down and we parked and we walked a little bit because obviously downtown you've got to find parking. So we found a little green pea parking lot. We walked down to Face-to-Face in the rain And before we went, Rob had called to make sure the draft would fire because sometimes, they post these things and not enough people show up. So they said, yeah, we can't guarantee anything, but the last couple of weeks, everything's been fine. We've had enough players. So we get there, and guess how many people were there?
2, you and Rob.
There was actually one other, 3. There was one regular there. However, they won't fire a draft until there's 4 people. So he got on the little chat thing. Now, I didn't know this. Did you know that you can have an Instagram chat just like you can have a Facebook chat? Like a Facebook Messenger chat?
No, but then again, I'm not on Instagram. So.
Yeah, I've never had a group chat on Instagram. Like I've had like 1 or 2 people, like, someone sent a group message, but not like a group consistent thing. I don't know why I didn't think about it. But anyway, apparently you can do that. So they have an Instagram group for the Star Wars Toronto people. And the one guy who was there, he got on the chat to see. He's like, there's one guy that usually he's pretty close by and he usually comes and, I'll see if he can make it. So he responded back and said if they can, wait, 15 minutes for me to get there, then he's like, I'll come. So he came down, which was really nice of him. And we had 4 people. So we did a draft of the latest Star Wars Unlimited set called Jump to Lightspeed. And it had been a while since I played. And I don't know if I've mentioned this before. And we have to do a whole episode on Star Wars. We'll have to get Rob on. But there are costs, but then there's also colors, like aspects. And you have to keep both of those things in mind when you're building your team. And I had completely forgotten about the aspect colors when I was pulling my cards. So, and I had also drafted, because you draft your leaders. And I thought I had drafted a certain leader, but I hadn't. I'd passed it. So I started to draft as if I had that leader, and then I didn't have that leader. And then also I wasn't paying any attention at all to the colors until we got to the 3rd pack, because when you draft, you get 3 packs. And you draft 1 to the right, and then 1 to the left, and then 1 to the right, or whatever. So you alternate. Anyway, the whole thing turned into this big mess because I didn't have enough cards to make a deck that I could actually play.
Uh-oh.
It was awful. So my deck was horrible, and none of my synergies were working, and I had to throw in a bunch of what they call off aspect cards. So in Star Wars, you can play a card that's off aspect, but it costs you 2 extra resources for each aspect color you don't have access to. So I was just throwing cards in my deck that didn't match the color just so that I could resource them, because it's sort of like Lorcana. You take a card and you put it in your inkwell. Same idea, except it's resourcing in Star Wars.
Okay.
So I lost all of my games. It was really horrible. I had a
Did
good time. Did
anybody pick up on what you did?
I told them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't care.
Okay.
So I told them what I did. And I was like, yeah, I totally messed up and whatever. Just, it's been a while since we'd played this game, and it's been a while since I drafted it. And most of the time when I play it, Rob's made decks already. Right? So anyway, so I lost all my games, but I had lovely conversations with the 2 gentlemen that they were there. They were really nice guys, and they got us into the chat, the Star Wars Instagram group. So now we're in the Star Wars Instagram group for Toronto. And so that was it. So we went down to face. It was raining. We played Star Wars. We met some cool people. It was very busy. It's a very busy store. They had us at a table, and then at the other end of the table, they had some Magic players. They also had, I think, a Yu-Gi-Oh event and possibly something else going on as well at the same time. So there was at least 3 or 4 different card games being played, and pretty packed as far as the number of players there. So I think the draft was supposed to start at 6:30. We ended up starting at like 6:45, and I think the store was open until 10. So we finished up around 9:30, and by that time most of the people had cleared out, and we just did a little bit of shopping, and then we then we decided we were hungry, so we stopped at A&W on the way back. Because the parking lot we were at, the Green Pea, had an A&W right next to it. It was right next to the subway stop, and the A&W was 24 hours.
Oh, that's convenient.
Yeah, so we popped in and I wasn't like super hungry, but I just wanted something. So I just got a drink and I got some fries. And Rob got a hamburger and fries, and we had a snack, and then we drove home. So that was our exciting adventure into Toronto. But the store was nice. It had quite a lot of tables. The employees were good. I liked that there were both men and women employees there, because you don't always see that in game stores, and same like comic stores, right? You don't always get men and women. You often get men, but not always women. So it was nice that there was women there as well. And I don't remember if I saw any other women players.
This was a Saturday?
No, it was a Wednesday.
Oh, yeah, that's right, a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Interesting they're packed on a Wednesday.
Yeah. So, I mean, the location is great. Like, it's right on the Danforth. It's on the subway line. It's easy to access. Even the parking wasn't bad. I think we had parked by that A&W because it was like the first parking spot we had come across. And it turned out we could have gone a little bit further. There was a couple of other green piece spots we could have done, or we could have parked on the street. So there was access to parking. Store was clean. Employees were really friendly, and they had really nice bathrooms.
Yeah.
And these are things that I look at when I go to a game store. Because, again, I am old and I want to have a nice, clean bathroom. And when the bathroom is gross, then, that is less pleasant for me. So yeah, it took us a while to get in because of the rain and the traffic, and it was a Wednesday night and what have you. But the drive home was clear and made it nice and easy. And yeah, I would go back to that store, and it sounds like they have a really good group of players. So hopefully we'll get out and play some more Star Wars there.
Do they sell board games?
They did have a small selection of board games. It looks like they were primarily focused on like TCGs. But there was a small selection of board games, and there was a lot of accessories, right? Like
dice and all that,
tubes and dice, and they had some RPG stuff, but not a ton. Not like Harry Tarantula. So Harry Tarantula is on Yonge Street near the 401, and they have a ton of role-playing games and fancy dice and things like that. And they also do a lot of Warhammer there, and they also have TCGs. So that store is a little bit more like in threes. It's like a third Warhammer, a third RPGs, and a third TCGs. Whereas I would say, and I don't think that Harry Tarantula really has any board games. And then Face to Face is like 75% TCGs and accessories, and maybe 25% board games.
Okay.
Yeah, but friendly folks. And Rob was able to pick up a booster pack, like the box of the Jump to Lightspeed packs. And we did a quick stream opening those up on Twitch, which I think, we did it on YouTube. So I think it's on YouTube. If you want to head over to youtube.com/Dice Station Zebra and you're interested in seeing what cards we opened out of that booster box, that video is posted. So you can check it out.
Still have not played this game.
I think that you would like it, Kim.
Yeah, but I don't like building decks. That's my problem.
Well, I don't either, but that's what I have Rob for.
When they're like 60 plus cards. No, thank you. I can't even handle 10 plus cards with that.
I don't mind doing it in draft. In draft, you only have to have, I think it's 30 cards.
Okay.
30 plus your leader and your base. When you're doing a constructed deck, I think it's 50 or 60.
Still a lot.
It's a lot for sure. But also there's a lot of resources online for this game because, people really like Star Wars. So they have similar things to like we used to have like we have with the Dice Coalition website, which is now on rollandthunder.xyz. So there's like a deck builder. There's like lots of people have posted their decks and how they play them and those types of things. And right now they're in their what they call the PQ season, planetary qualifiers. So you're qualifying for the big tournament. So there's a lot of competitive decks out there. So we've been playing around with some of those. Rob found some that sort of suit our play style of Star Wars, and he was able to pull them together with most of the cards that he had. He had to make a couple of substitutions. We've been playing with some of those in case we decide to head down and play some Star Wars at a planetary qualifier where I expect to lose all my games. even though we net decked. So
It's knowing how to play it. How to play the deck.
Absolutely. And I mean, with card games, it really depends on what you draw.
Yep.
So if you don't draw what you need, you can have up to 3 copies of any card in your deck. So
yeah, it's like Magic, same thing. What you pull, lucky pulls.
Yep. So
any game, yeah.
So that's me. That's Star Wars. What did you play, Kim?
I'm gonna talk about a board game called Photo Tour North America. So this is from a very small publishing company named Timashov Publishing. Timashov. I don't know. I've backed a couple other small games before. But this is one of their bigger games that I've backed, and we played it recently on the DM North channel, which shockingly, when I was going through board games with Matt, I was like, yeah. He's like, do you have Photo Tour? I'm like, Photo Tour? Really? You play Photo Tour? I would never thought it was a Matt game. Okay, and then I was like, yeah, I own that game. You like that game? Anyways, so supposedly Matt's obsessed with this game. He's played it multiple times with Solo. So once he learned I had it, we got it onto the stream, played a 2-player variant to it, and then I think he played a lot of Solo. I see to him, go play the Solo. I'm like, yeah, I still have to get on that. I have not gotten my Solo playing, so yeah, it's called Photo Tour North America from a very small publishing company. Beautiful game. The art on this game is so nice. So you're kind of like a person going around the North America map, US and Canada. And what you're doing is pretty much you're a photographer and you're taking pictures. Okay. But you're traveling around the map. So you have cards that you can pick up, and those cards are places on the map. And this is where the beautiful comes in, because the art on the cards are like so nice for these places. And they're like the big cities, so Toronto, New York, San Francisco, places like that, national parks, kind of places. And what you need to do, you start with cards. You could pick up cards, and you're trying to travel around the map. So let's say I had Toronto. So you'll travel around the map trying to get to Toronto, and then you take a photograph. When you take a photograph, which is a card in your hand, you place it on your board. Okay. So I think you have to fill your board, which I believe is 7. You have to take 7 photographs, I believe. 7 or 8. No, I can't remember. 7 photographs.
Sounds like a good number.
Yeah. Each card has a point value. So it's pretty much who has the most victory points at the end of the game. So each card has a point value, and then you put it down. What also you can do, and these are different actions you can do on your turn. It's 1 action per turn. So one is picking up a card, which is picking up a place, and then moving on the board is another action, moving, to get to that place. Moving is a little interesting because you have to roll the dice. So on your playboard, there's like dotted lines, straight lines. You can fly. And those are represented by dice. So like car, bus, plane, train. I want to say train. No, it's just 3. Bus, plane, and car. So those are the ways you can travel. And on the map, there's different lines. So like if I want to go to A to B, I could probably only travel that by car. So it'll be a dotted line. If I want to go to B to D, it might just be the bus. You can't take the car. You know what I mean? Or you can only fly. So that's the luck of rolling the dice. So these 5 dice gets rolled. And then if you want to do a movement action, you have to pick one of those dice to do it. Okay, so that's an action. And then picking up cards or picking up a card or a place is an action. Now actually taking a picture is an action. That's placing it on your board. And you can also pick up equipment on your way. Also on these cards, there's like symbols for equipment. Equipment could be like, and I find these pictures kind of funny, a cell phone. There's I think it's a tripod, which reminded me of a Stanley Cup. like
Okay.
the drinking one that people's all over these days now.
Yep.
Um, and what else did they have? A tripod, a lens. So there's 5 different ones. And each card also has those symbols. So if you happen to pick up one of the equipments and you can place it on your board, you're only allowed 3 on your board. When you place a card down or you take a photo, you can place the tokens on that card and they give you extra points. If you don't place the equipment, then you don't get those extra points. So it's like 3 per on there or something like that, extra points that you can get. So you keep playing and playing and playing until the first person pretty much to put down all 7 cards. Last player gets their last turn. And then you pretty much score for victory points. Very fast game. Like we played this, I want to say like definitely less than an hour.
It was a quick game.
It was
because
very quick.
Rob and I watched you play, I think, the entire game. And it was not a long game.
No.
I think even with like the big long explanation of how the game works in the beginning and then to the time that you finished, I want to say it was less than 90 minutes.
Yeah. It's a good quick game to set up. It's not that hard to set up and to play. Well, since Matt played it a lot, obviously he won. It was my first time playing it. But once you play it a few times, you kind of get the hang of what you need to do, right? Mm-hmm. Because I found myself getting stuck at places. So I would be like at this city and I need to get this city. And I'm like, the dice roll, I need a bus and there's no bus. So I'm like stuck, right? Now you can re-roll the dice by, I believe you can throw away a card to roll the dice or to change the equipment, or you can't replenish the cards until they're all empty. Gotcha. Or I think you can also probably put a card to put ones. Now, some of these cards also, like the photos you take, give you benefits as well. So like bonus effects. Like, so if you combo really well, it can help you. So some of them will give you a car action if your opponent plays a car action. You get a free like car action. You know what I mean? Things like that will help you benefit. Your board also can benefit you as well with actions or effects based on if you place. So your board has like urban, I think, and then I forget what the other one was. Urban and something else. So if you place an urban card on an urban slot, what's that?
Rural? R-U-R-A-L? Rural?
It was a name I kept forgetting too. I don't think it was rural. It might come to me.
Okay, we'll keep going. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, that's good. It's urban and something else. So again, if you place that card on the right slot on your board, it'll also give you like another benefit, but it's like a one and done. So if you use it, you're like you can't use it again. Kind of thing. So you can place the cards anywhere on your board. You don't even have to place an urban on an urban card. You just won't get that benefit like on the board. So so there's a bit of a thinking because you're kind of trying to plan your next step. You can screw over the other players by taking their things that you notice that they might need.
Right.
But in a 2-player game, not really. There wasn't much of that. We kind of just like played our thing, which probably made it go faster. But yeah, before I knew it, I couldn't believe like Jordo had already all his 7 stuff down. I'm like, oh my gosh, I only have like 4. So there's a bit of strategy to it. But really quick game, easy to set up, beautiful game. If you ever have a chance, go look at this game. Like the art on it is really nice. Which I think that's what drew me to it. And I thought this is a game that Dave would play because he likes taking pictures, like photography and stuff. So I thought maybe he would enjoy it. But yeah, I got mine through Kickstarter. So it came with a bunch of expansions.
Nice.
Jordo picked up the Kickstarter at a store. So
Right, because he's got a local store that backs Kickstarters.
yes, which which again, I'm shocked that they would back a game that like it's not a very high, like a known publisher. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, sometimes with Kickstarter, they do like retail versions, right? Like for retailers. I've seen that before. So if you're a retailer, you can buy a certain number of copies and get, the Kickstarter version, but at a discounted price to sell it to your customers.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's what we played. Yeah, it's almost like a racing game because you're trying to first person really to put down their 7 photos. But again, Matt and I didn't really like screw each other over, so it was quick. I mean, if you play with probably what does this go to 5 players? Yeah, I could see that being a bit harder.
Yeah, I was looking at it here, and it looks like on Board Game Geek they recommend like the best player experience is 3 players.
Mm-hmm.
It says like 1 to 5 is the sort of recommendation of the game, but they said the sort of the best experience is 3.
Yeah, I think 5 or 4 would be very chaotic on the board. But yeah, so there's a couple mini expansions to it, which I think just introduces some cards. Something about I want to say they're on the other side it's winter. So it's a double-sided board. The other side is winter, so there's like winter things, snowing and stuff that can deter you from getting, I don't know, places and stuff like that.
Right.
So those expansions kind of, I think, introduces some new cards, some new winter things. There's also they are doing a Kickstarter right now, soon.
Okay.
Another expansion for the North America. So they're sticking to more expansions on the North American and making a new game for like a different place, like Europe or something.
Cool.
So I think they might be introducing, I want to say Alaska.
Nice.
Yeah. Or more north.
Yeah, the artwork on it is definitely really pretty. And that draws me to games as well. If the artwork looks nice, then I'm interested in it. And I do like the photo aspect of it. And I like that it's sort of, you're doing your own thing, but you can do things that interact with your opponent to slow them down or what have you, right? So in that way, it reminded me a little bit of Wingspan.
Yeah.
Because in Wingspan, you're building your own engine, but you can also do things to mess up your opponent if you know what they're doing.
Yeah, I feel like, okay, so like if you had like cards down and say you're near Toronto and I'm like way down somewhere else, but there's a Toronto card sitting there, I could screw you over and grab the Toronto card.
Toronto.
What?
Toronto.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, you could do that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I noticed that you're so close to it and the car is sitting there, so I could just pick it up and trash it later for something else if I'm not going to get there, just so you won't have it because you're right next door, kind of thing, right? So, I mean, you can do things like that. The best thing about this publishing company, they're Canadian.
Yay!
They're Canadian and they're from British Columbia.
Awesome.
So, I'm glad I support them because they're Canadian and they're a smaller company. And they did make a very good game. Like, you're always on the edge with companies like this. You know what I mean? Because they haven't done much, right? Very small things and not a lot of games they've published. But this one, it's a good one.
And this is a game that if you were going to play online with you and Matt on a Saturday night, you'd have to physically own it, right?
Yes, because of the cards.
It's too much to proxy.
Yeah. The board's easy enough to proxy, but there's so much cards that I would say it is not a proxable game just because of the cards.
So you're going to bring it when we do board game night?
Yeah. When we ever get to board game night.
It's going to happen.
So yeah, definitely recommended. A Kickstarter is coming out, which I believe you can get a reprint of this game.
Nice.
You can't find this game in retail.
No.
So only if maybe a store got it through Kickstarter, but retail edition, I have not seen any store selling it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I don't know if they're just waiting for it to come to retail, or maybe that's why they're doing another Kickstarter, because they're just doing a reprint of it. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not like a second edition. I think it's just a reprint
Yeah.
with some new expansion. So
Cool. So you might have an opportunity to get one if you didn't get
yes,
one already.
yeah, yeah, and yeah,
Or
I
if you're
might.
not in Calgary, to go get the one at Matt's store.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, you can always check out your stores if they have it. But
It's not often stores do that though.
no. So yeah, I might take a look and see what the expansion's like. It might just introduce some more cards, probably extend the board, probably. Um, but yeah, I'll definitely look at getting the expansion, I think.
Cool.
Yeah, so that's a photo tour.
That's awesome. I look forward to giving it a try.
Yeah, yeah, I'll definitely bring it. It's on the list.
Yeah. Cool. Awesome. That's fantastic. So I guess that's all we have for tonight, because we already talked about the dice bag.
Yeah, our short and sweet dice bag.
Thanks, Beatrice. We heart you. And speaking of hearting things, just wanted to put a call out there that it is Pride Month, and we just want to let everyone know that we support all of you. And whatever you're doing for Pride Month, we'd love to hear what you're doing with your board games or things like that. I know we've got a friend of our Dice Station Zebra channel that he streams on Twitch, and he's doing a whole fundraiser for Pride this month on his Twitch channel. He's called Jonk Lobster, if you want to go follow him along. And that's JONK Lobster, like the shellfish.
Jonk lobster.
Yeah. Okay. Jonk Lobster. And if I guess what he's doing is, for every $100 he raises throughout the month of his Twitch streams, which I guess is through like bits and stuff, he's going to have like a big, long, massive stream on June 30th. And he's hoping that he'll have to stream like literally for like 24 hours. And the money's being donated to a charity that supports LGBTQ folks. So that's fantastic. And this month, all of the HeroClix events that I'm running at the 3D shop in Oshawa, we're doing Pride type themes. This week's theme is Love is Love. So build a team that represents something that you love or people that love one another, because all love is love. So just wanted to put that out there as we continue to support our fellow gamers.
Cool.
So I painted my nails in the rainbow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for the month. I'm going to try and keep them. I don't normally keep my nails painted the same color for more than like a week at a time, but I think I'm going to try and keep this rainbow manicure for the entire month.
Yeah, I just got my toes done. I was like, it's about time. I need to get my toes done. And I did a Mardi Gras color. So it's like pinky purple. But I never thought for them to actually do it. Can you imagine? I'm like, here, can you do red, orange, green, blue, purple on my toes?
Yeah, I actually went out. I did it last Friday, and it was right before we played DCC, and I went out to Shoppers because I needed purple, indigo, and yellow, because I never have yellow. It's not a color I wear very often.
Yeah.
So I went out to the local Shoppers Drug Mart, which is the pharmacy up here, and they sell cosmetics, and I was able to pick up the 3 colors that I needed to finish my manicure. So
they should make like a multicolor, like a rainbow
totally.
in a one thing. So when you take it out, it will actually paint. Well, not paint, but you know what I mean.
I was surprised because there's so many of those like press-on gel nail type things now, that they didn't have anything with a rainbow in the store. Because I know the parent company of Shoppers Drug Mart is very Pride focused, and they have a big focus on not just Pride but all types of diversity, and that's something that we're continuing to do up here in Canada. And I was surprised they didn't have anything focused on that. I know that previously my friend Emily that I play HeroClix with, she used to be a vendor person for like this stick-on nail polish. So it's like actual nail polish, but it's dry strips.
Oh, so you like put it on and peel it off?
Yeah, I can't remember the name of the company right now. I'm drawing a blank. Anyway, she doesn't work for them anymore, but anyway, they usually do like monthly themes. So there's like, when it's Christmas time, they have Christmas and winter themed stick-on nails. And there's not stick-on, it's actual nail polish. But
you're not like painting it on. You're just
you're
stick,
not
take it
painting it.
off. Yeah.
There's a bit of an adhesive. It's like 90% dry. So you peel the plastic off of the sides, and then you put it on your nail, and it's got a slight adhesive on it. You sort of press it down, and then you trim it to fit your nail, and file it down. Anyway, so they do like holiday ones for like Christmas, Thanksgiving, Halloween, Easter, and they did a Pride theme last year. I don't normally do like images on my nails.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I'm not an image person, right? I'm
Yeah.
not someone that gets like flowers or rainbows or whatever.
I used to on my toes.
Yeah, I know. My sister did it, and she took Hazel, my niece, to get hers done, and they did flowers on her toes. And then by the time she got home, she ripped it all off because she's like, I don't want the flower anymore. So funny. She's like 5. So anyway, but yeah. So I've got my rainbow ready to go, and love is love, and we're all in. So yeah. So let us know what you're doing to support Pride. If you have any ideas of what I could do for HeroClix themes, I am open. I've got to do 3 more after this, and I'm open to suggestions. So yeah. So I think that's all we've got for today.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kim, for once again being the most amazing podcast host.
Why, thank you.
You're welcome. I appreciate you because you do all the hard work, and I just show up and talk. So we would love to hear from you. We would love it if our dice bag was a little bit deeper than last week's, although, we appreciate features. But if you have any suggestions of things you'd like us to talk about, or you want to add any HeroClix themes for Pride Month, or any other games, if you've tried Photo Tour, if you have questions about Star Wars or anything like that, or any of the other things we've talked about, like my, conversation with Henry Winkler and where he kissed me on my left temple. We want to hear all of that. So you can send us a message in a bunch of different places. You can send us an email, which no one's done in a really long time.
No.
DDPodcast@dm-north.com. You can join us on our Discord at DM North TV, where we have a Double and Dice podcast convo channel. And we have all of the socials: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Threads, X/Twitter, you name it. We're there at DM North TV. You can find Kim and Matt streaming every Friday night on twitch.tv/DM North TV, or on youtube.com/DM North TV, because they stream on both simultaneously. It's fancy. I still go to Twitch.
I don't think he does it on YouTube anymore.
Oh, he doesn't?
No, he just uploads the video now. Yeah.
He was doing it.
Yes, we used to. Yeah.
I didn't make that up. That did happen.
It did happen.
Okay, so if you want to watch the stream, you got to go to twitch.tv/DM North TV. And if you want to watch the replay, you can go to youtube.com/DM North TV. And you can find us on Discord. You can add us. Kim is at SuperK, and I am at JoceStitch, JOCE Stitch. And until next time, on a double and dice.